I had recently got a comment saying, "Yo, Haunton, I'm having a hard time winning this year. I had an 80 win percent in 2K22. Now I'm barely pushing 60. Is there anything I could do to get my win percent up?" Now today I'm gonna be giving y'all all the tips that I could possibly think of that would help y'all win more games, whether it's on twos, threes, or just playing the 1v1 court theater or whatever you're gonna play. Make sure you do drop a like, sub, turn on post notifications. It's all very much appreciated, and let's just get straight into it. So we're gonna get straight into talking about everything that'll help you increase your win percent. The first thing that we're gonna talk about, which is probably the most important thing of them all, is teammates. If you don't have a teammate, don't even play park. Don't play twos, don't play threes, don't go to ante up, don't do none of that stuff if you don't actually have a teammate. That is the first thing that I could say will help increase your win percent, because randoms on this game are actually a lot worse than they have been in the last couple of years. You just don't want to take risks hopping on with people that you don't know if they're good or not, man. If they have a great win percent, it's 70s, they have a high win percent, possibly. But from my experience, them high win percent people be selling too. So I wouldn't pick up people unless you're confident you could trust this person. Shooting percent, that tells a lot, you know what I'm saying? I would care more about the shooting percent than the win percent. If they have a 70, 80 win percent, only shoot 30%, then no, they're obviously not that good. If there's somebody who has, 60, 70 shooting percent, anything really above 55 is pretty good to me. So, you know what I'm saying? Just take in and look at stats and don't just be picking up anybody or hopping on course to hopping on course. That's the first thing and the most important thing of them all, because you could be an amazing player, but if you don't have a teammate, then you're most likely going to lose unless there's 1v1 out. Now the next thing I'm going to do is give y'all tips for every single category: finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defense. I'm going to just give you the best tips I possibly can in each category. Now finishing, there's 5 tips that I have. First thing, limitless takeoff, at least silver. Limitless takeoff silver will activate quick drops off 1, and from there, that is like the most meta dunk package, the most unblockable dunk package, and one of the best. So as long as you have limitless takeoff, at least silver, quick drops off 1, then you'll be able to get really nice animations. Now the next thing that I'm gonna say is, don't be predictable with your rim runs. Like, if you go baseline 2-3 times, they're going to start playing baseline. Switch it up, go baseline, run up the middle, pop a 3, maybe pop a mid-range or another 3, and then take another rim run. Don't just be consistently relying on the rim run. I'm going to teach y'all how to be a good shooter, dribbler, everything like that. So you shouldn't have to just rely off the rim run. The way I like to play it is, I'll rim run a couple times when the game first starts, and then they tend to play you back, because everybody in this game assumes if you rim run the first couple of times, you just can't shoot. You're a rim runner. That's how they think. So they start to leave you a little bit back. Then I come out, hit a couple threes, and then that's when they don't know how to guard you. Then from there, you could just keep switching it up, and it's easier to win like that. Especially if you're taking twos and getting warmed up, it's going to be easier for you to hit your threes. It just makes more sense. So that's the way I like to play it. When it comes to, the last thing when it comes to finishing after the angles and making sure you're not being predictable would be the dunk meter. If you could master the dunk meter, you're going to be a threat, because that dunk meter on current gen, it's almost unstoppable. On next gen, you could stop it a little bit, but people who really know how to use it are really a threat. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is shooting. Shooting is a category a lot of people struggle in. I did a whole video on shooting, which was like 15 minutes long. If y'all want to go check that out after this, then you can, but I'm gonna just go over the most important things. First thing, jump shots. I'm gonna pop my jump shot for my small and tall guard up on the screen. I'm gonna pop my shot timing up on the screen. But I'm gonna tell y'all this right now: shot timing doesn't affect the actual jump shot speed. It only affects how long your finger is on square. The full jump shot will still play out the same if you got very late and very early on. It all affects how long your finger is on square. So it's all personal preference. Same with jump shot. I mean, it's better to have a good jump shot with good stats, but at the same time, if you learn and master a jump shot, have badges, and have a good 3-point, then you'll be good. So don't change your shot timing over and over again, and your jump shot over and over again, because they're personal preference. And mastering one shot timing and jump shot is going to benefit you. Because trust me, I've only used the same jump shots the whole entire year. Every time I drop a jump shot video, it's the same exact jump shots just because I've mastered them. It's easy for me to time them. I could do step backs, fades, standstills. I could do all types of different shots just because I've mastered this one jump shot and shot timing. And when I only have 2 builds, I only really got to rotate through 2 jump shots. I just made a third one, so I'm learning the timing on that one, but it's easier for you to master things instead of just switching it all day every day, because then you're not going to have your fades, your step backs. You're not going to have everything down because you keep changing. So that's the thing I want to say about shot timing and jump shots. Badges, as long as you have amped, limitless range, agent 3s, and green machine on, those 4 badges will make everything happen. So make sure you got those 4 badges on and you'll be straight when it comes to shooting. Now the next thing I'm going to tell you is they're different timings, so you have to expect them. I know it's annoying when 2K gives you a different timing, but there is ways to tell when you'll get a different timing. If somebody's close to you, Mike Wang said that would increase your jump shot speed and make it faster. If you're sitting there wide open, it's going to be your regular jump shot speed. If you're fading, you're going to have a different speed going from the left and to the right. Your hop jumper, your spin jumper, they're all going to be different speeds. On top of that, if you have low stamina, your jump shot's going to be slower. So you have to think about all that stuff before you shoot. If you see you have low stamina, instead of just shooting it and then being like, oh, I had low stamina, it was slower, you have to expect that. You have to be like, okay, I got low stamina, it's going to be a little bit slower, got to hold it a little bit longer. And it'll help you more if you just sit there and learn those timings. Now, the last thing that I'm going to say is delay. You could turn your PlayStation settings down. I turned mine down from 2160, which is what the PS5 comes, to 1080, and it runs so much smoother. It's way less delay. You could plug your remote in. You could change your people were talking about changing your internet settings, and I haven't done that, but that can help you too. There's a lot of different things that can help you get rid of delay, so try those things out. And then the last thing, play My Career Hall of Fame, because if you're playing My Career Hall of Fame, then you're setting realistic expectations for the park, because you're not going to be sitting there hitting whites, hitting all these crazy shots. It's going to be realistic. You'll be able to brick and you'll be able to see, you know, I got to green this is the timing for that, and it'll be easier for you going from Hall of Fame My Career to park than it would be going from rookie to park, because those are 2 completely different things. So that's it for when it comes to finishing and shooting. Now let's talk about playmaking. Now the first thing when it comes to playmaking, y'all got a lab. My Comp Guard Academy is like an hour-long video that teaches you every single dribble move I know. That right there is very important, very needed for anybody who wants to be a guard, because that teaches you all the combos. And knowing combos is what changes you and makes you different than other people. Because me, I could 3-hunt in the whole entire game, and when people pull up and they see the way I dribble, they can already tell that it's going to be a difficult game, because I don't play like the average player. And you could see that as soon as you start looking at clips, as soon as you start, you know, as soon as you pull up on me, you notice that. And that's because, you know, my dribble tutorials, y'all got to check them out. It'll teach you everything you need to know. And also lab my Get Open videos, because I have the dribble tutorials where I just teach y'all all the moves. And then I have the Get Open videos where I actually teach y'all how to piece the moves together to actually get open in games. So those 2 right there will make you a huge threat when it comes to dribbling. You'll be able to know all the dribble moves, and you'll be able to do a bunch of different dribble moves to change the way you're playing and not be predictable. And then on top of that, you'll have moves to actually get open, so then you could 3-hunt and you'll be able to rim run. So lab my Get Open videos and my dribble tutorials. Then the next thing is kind of like rim running, how I told y'all to learn the angles of when to rim run. You know, if somebody's playing your right side, go up the middle. It's kind of the same way with passing. You're going to want to learn the angles, and you're going to want to learn the ways to perfect it. I can't really show y'all the angles or teach y'all that type of stuff. It's something that you just learn from playing the game and passing the ball and everything like that. Like, let's say somebody's playing defense on you and they're switching every time you rim run. As soon as that center in the corner comes down, like literally as soon as he starts moving down to switch onto you, that's the sweet spot for that pass right there. And that's when you're going to want to, boom, just throw it over there. And once you learn the sweet spots for passes and when to hit circle and throw a floor pass, when to do you know what I'm saying, when to learn all that stuff, then it'll make everything a lot easier for you and you won't be throwing so many turnovers or lane steals as you might be throwing right now. Now, the next thing that I'm going to tell you is badges. I'm going to pop my badges up on the screen. I'm going to tell y'all this. If you got any type of Gatorade, whether it's 1 or 2 Gatorade bars, save the badge points on handles for days. Make sure you do have bailout on, because bailout is important. I get so many nice bailout passes. On top of bailout, you're going to want to make sure you have quick first step on as high as you could get it, and then unpluckable. Those 3 badges are what I feel like are top tier. Clamp breaker, you're going to want to make sure you have that too. And I mean, the rest is really all up to y'all and how you play. Now, when it comes to defense, there's a little bit that we're going to talk about when it comes to defense. First is blitz steals. If y'all don't remember, they patched the behind the back steals. So what I do now is I just went back to blitzing people. Now, blitz steals have been in the game for as long as I can remember. For, 2K15, 16, they've been around for so long. And they're still the most effective way to get steals. So the way you're going to want to do this is just attack the side that they have the ball in. Just go right in front of them wherever they have the ball and catch them in a weak spot, and you'll be able to steal the ball. Now, the whole reason why it's called a blitz is because you don't really want them to see you coming. You don't want to slowly run over that or run over there. Like, if you run over there and you reach and you don't get the blitz steal the first time, odds are you probably either threw yourself out the play or you're not going to be able to get another steal. So you have to make sure when you blitz somebody that one blitz would just be right on the money and you'll get the ball. It's like football, you know what I mean? If you're going to blitz the quarterback, it's not going to work if the quarterback can see you. So you're just going to want to, attack the side that they have the ball in. It works really good when they're bringing the ball out to the 3-point to take it back. It works really good when point guards are speed boosting, when they do the Steve Francis, and you know how the Steve Francis will move the ball from the left to the right really fast. If the ball is in their left hand and they're moving it to the right, play the right heavy, and as soon as the ball comes over to the right, you run over there and attack the ball and steal it. So it's basically just a blitz. You have to run really fast, get right in front of them, and just rip the ball loose, and you should be able to get a steal. It works a lot of the time, and it catches people off guard as long as you could play good pressure defense. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about when it comes to defense is rim run switch out defense. There's 2 ways you could play defense when it comes to playing 2s and 3s as a lockdown, or just as somebody who's playing 2s, you're going to have to play defense with a guard. So if you're a small guard, your best bet is to switch out on the rim runs. Every single time somebody rim runs, switch out, and the best way to get a good clean switch, let's say the popper is sitting in the left corner and the dude's dribbling at the top of the key, right? Now, they're going to try and go over to the right because the right is wide open, and that's the best place that they can either get open or they could get around you to rim run. So you're going to want to play the right heavy and force them to the left. If you play the right heavy, they're going to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to go to the left. If they go to the left and try and rim run up the middle, it makes it easier for your big man to switch and for you to switch to the corner. So that's the best way you're going to want to play switch out defense in order to get people to just put somebody in a box. If you got a small guard, it's going to be difficult. You force them to that side, then you have your center's help, and it's a lot easier. If you're somebody who has a tall guard, it's all about communication with your center. I mean, me, sometimes I'll switch out, sometimes I'll have them fully boxed, and I won't have to switch out. So it all depends on situations. You're just going to want to make sure you play lanes heavy and you know how to actually play people themselves, which is what I'm going to tell y'all right now. Now, I like to play bait defense. What that means is I don't press people high. Like, even though I have a 99 steal and you would expect me to be right in front of the dude reaching all game, I sit back a little bit. Not everybody likes to shoot. And if somebody likes to shoot, as soon as they see you stepping back like that, they'll take advantage and shoot. But if somebody keeps a rim running when you're sitting back on them, then that means that their probably only threat is rim running until they get takeover. So I learn how people play by sitting back. I'll watch them dribble and see what their patterns are. Okay, every time he does a step back, if the shot's not there, he just rim runs. So I'll bait him a little bit into the shot, but I'll still play him back enough to where I could get the rim run. It's always about playing people and watching people and observing how they play. And I feel like playing people tight is just never going to benefit you, because there's people who play me tight. They play me like I'm Steph Curry. and I can shoot. But at the end of the day, if you play me like Steph Curry, I'm going to turn into something else. I'm going to just rim run it every time like I'm Bron. So that's the thing, you have to play them back, and you have to give it enough space to where if they want to shoot, you could close out, and you have to have enough space to where if they're going to rim run, you could stop them. So those are the best tips I could give for defense, playmaking, shooting, and finishing. Now I'm going to go over just some more tips in general on how you could get more rep, how you can win more games, and just everything like that. Alright, so there's 3 things I'm going to go over. The first thing, make a good build that's not a liability at all. Now, I do have a 6-1 build which has like no defense and is a liability at defense, because 6-1s are really good for rec. They're really good for Pro Am 5v5, and they're also really good if you're playing comp stage 3s. But if you're somebody that doesn't have teammates, you need to make a build that's not a liability at all. I'm not saying make a 6'9", but make a build that's all around. It's not too small, not too tall. It can play D, shoot, dribble. It could do just about everything. And it's very easy to make a build like that. My build that I feel like is like that is my 6'7", because it has 99 steal, Hall of Fame glove, gets all the good dribble moves. It also has an 85 3-ball with limitless silver, so I can shoot from beyond half court. And it has quick drops and limitless takeoff. So that build right there is what I feel like is a good example of a build that you would want to have. Have a build that you could bring it to the 2s, you could bring it to the 3s, you could play 1s if it comes in the theater, or you want to go play stage, you could play 1s and not have to worry about it. And you could play everything, and you're not a liability. That's the first thing that you're going to want to do, is have a build that is actually good for every game mode. Because if you're trying to find teammates, that's the best way you're going to find them. Second thing I'm going to say is, if you're trying to get your win percent up, court hop, chase games, and check out the stage. Because the stage, it does have tryhards in there, but like at the same time, there's a lot of people, this is on next gen, there's a lot of people on next gen who are just trash in the stage. Like, I'm telling y'all this right now, my win percent actually went up playing stage instead of going down, which is crazy, because there's just 60 to 70% of the people that are on the 2s or the 1s court in the stage are actually not even good, and it's crazy, bro. So the stage, check it out, court hop and watch the courts, because you don't want to be playing up against tryhards if you're trying to get your win percent up. So hop off the court, go play, keep playing them free games and keep chasing free games. It might take time, but that's one of the best things that you could do. So you do need a teammate for that, obviously. And the last thing that I'm going to tell y'all when it comes to getting your win percent up is just practice, man. Practice and play the game. Rec is a great way to find people. You just got to do what you got to do for real to find a teammate. Once you find a teammate, everything becomes a lot easier, because you have somebody you could communicate, get chemistry with, and that, if you're just court hopping, chasing games, playing against free games, and you have a teammate, then I mean, you should really get your win percent up very easily. So I hope everything in today's video helped y'all out. Also, run ISO, man, because running with screens, I mean, it's good, but at the same time, like, you're gonna win more games playing with ISO, because screens are really only good if you like to, fade off the screen and hit the pick and roll or run a pick and pop. Like, yeah, that's good, but at the same time, like, if you're playing 2s or you're playing 3s and you're running ISO, it's easier for you to just rim run, take the 2, or to, get open for a 3, because there's more space. You don't have that many people on you. That's just my opinion. I like playing with ISO a lot. I feel like I've gotten a lot better, and it challenges you to be a lot better, because in my personal opinion, an ISO, the way I think of it, is a 1v1. If anybody helps from the corner, there's any switching or anything going on, we're going to take advantage of that, of course. But if you cannot guard me on an ISO, there's no reason why we should lose as a team. So that's one thing I really like about ISOing. As of the screens, people that could play really good side defense or really know what they're doing with defense can stop you no matter how good you are. So it's a little bit of a tougher game to play, but it's all up to y'all, man. I hope this video helped. Make sure y'all do drop a like, sub, turn on post notifications. It's all very much appreciated. And your boy Horn is out.